Hello, and welcome to the Dougherty County School System Mid-Month Board Meeting Board Briefing. Thank you for coming. Please, board members, if you end up talking in the mic, please ensure that the green light is on. Mr. Superintendent, do we have any presentations or public comments?
Yes, ma'am. We do have presentations. No public comments, but we do have presentations tonight, and it's my pleasure to acknowledge and congratulate a group of students who exemplify the best in academic excellence. We have several students, as you know. The Georgia Milestones is our state assessment, summative assessment that we have every year, and we have several students who scored, who made perfect scores on sections of the test, and so we'll start by giving their names. Miss Athena Garvey. You may recall Miss Garvey. Let me get up here so we get an individual picture, then we get a picture with everyone, Madam Chair, and then the board members that want to join, please do.
Any other board members would like to join us for the pictures?
Miss Garvey was recognized last year. She was a student at Lake Park for having a perfect score in the science section. And this year was math last year was math at Robert Cross. So congratulations. You also remember she was presented at a meeting for winning awards in this track. All around great student and student athlete. In addition to the plaque, each student will receive the Dougherty County School System Superintendent's Challenge Coin, which shows our logo on one side, and on the other side it shows 4 images. One of a cap and gown, which indicates our commitment to academic excellence. One with a basketball, musical notes, and theater mask, which shows our commitment to extracurricular activities. The other with tools, which symbolizes career readiness, and one with a heart inside of carry hands, which symbolizes our commitment to their social and emotional well-being. So congratulations to all the students, and particularly Miss Garvey. So Miss Garvey, you get that coin too. Mom, you go ahead. All right.
Good thing you're tall, so we're good. Extend. Everybody good? Okay.
Next, we have Mr. Najjar. Nature? April, okay, April. All right, come on up, say, come on. Family, come on up. Had a perfect score in math as well at Robert Cross. both Athena and Abel were sixth graders last year at Robert Cross. Another sixth grader with a purpose score in math, Drew Bryant, Robert Cross. All right, come on up. Okay. All right. Well, next we go to another sixth grader, math, Robert Cross, Cameron Baker. Also a sixth grader at Robert Cross. Seventh grader at Robert Cross in math, Mr. Kevin Hernandez Gonzalez.
Squeeze them together. There you go.
Next we have Mr. Michael D. Morris, who was an eighth grader at Robert Cross last year. Now he's a freshman at Monroe High School.
That's all right. Perfect. All right. Here we go. Everybody look this way, okay?
And finally, we have Jaden Harris, who's an eighth grader at Robert Cross last year. And everyone else scored a perfect score in math. He had a perfect score in science. And he's now a freshman at Westover High School. Westover High School coach.
Yes, we got it. We're gonna take one in and then we'll let them take one out.
There you go. All right, everybody look this way.
And then board members that we take one by one.
Is there a You got a lot of camera.
We're not used to all the cameras.
Let's do the session. Robert Carlos, administration, come on up. Dr. Chan, introduce. Oh, come on up, Jen, come on up, Jen. Come on up. She's from the last year, and new principal, and then the assistant principal, and all right. Know what you want, Mrs. Instructing the coach. You stay with me, that's fine. Yeah, I got it.
You'll know, dressed alike tonight. Y'all know? Good to see you, sir.
Did he want to get students?
Yes, sir. Alright, we got the two talks. You guys are here to toss on 10, here to toss on 10. And everybody take a half step. Right?
Good, thank you very much, we appreciate it. Well, one more treat that we didn't have, we're going to present at school. We'll have a gift card for the students to treat their parents to a nice dinner somewhere in Albany. So, right. And I know as much as you would like to stay for the entirety of the meeting, I do know that they probably are serious about their homework. And so if you choose to depart right now, we'll take a brief break to allow you time to leave if you want to. Of course, you feel free to stay. But if you want to leave before we continue the rest of the meeting, we'll take about a 5-minute break for you to transition. Thank you very much. And thank you again. I made it on.
and the Robert Cross team. We'll review the agenda item to give board members an opportunity to give questions and make comments. We will need an executive session to discuss personnel and property
And student matters.
and student matters. Board members, do you have any questions or comments about the agenda? No. Hearing none. Agenda item 1. Minutes of the regular board meetings held on August 28, 2025.
And we had one correction on the minutes. We had a termination that should have been listed as a resignation. And that, who is that, Miss Anthony? A termination should have been resignation. Miss Anthony. Yes. Yeah, we corrected it. We corrected it. But in the board meeting, it was a down as a termination. We corrected it on the sheet, but I want to make sure I brought that to your attention. Okay.
Okay, item 1. Item 2. Hearing none. Item 3. Item 4. Recommendation approval fundraiser. Do we have any committee reports? Board items to discuss? Hearing none. Mr. Superintendent, are you ready for your report?
Yes, ma'am. We have a brief report tonight, Madam Chair. We're going to spend some time going over the policy revisions process as well as an executive session. So, again, the superintendent's update for September 8th, 2025. The vision of the Dougherty County School System is that we're a destination school system that in collaboration with families and community stakeholders provides quality educational and social development experiences that empowers graduates to be successful and impactful contributors to society. And the mission of the Dougherty County School System is to meet the academic and non-academic needs of its students with rigorous and relevant educational experiences that equip them to succeed in life. Our discussion topics are as follows. We'll start with strategic plan update, and there'll be an article in the paper tomorrow that highlights the partnership that is pending between the City of Albany and Dougherty County School System as part of our Women and Men Under Construction mentoring program. Each elementary school and our pre-K center will be adopted by different departments of the city and the county to go in and provide support in those classrooms with a focus on literacy, reading to the students and encouraging them to read as part of the City of Albany and the Dougherty County government's partnership with the school system. We also, you'll hear in some updates in the coming weeks, several other partnerships that we have with our Men and Women Under Construction mentoring program, the 100 Black Men of Southwest Georgia. They're initiating a mentoring program, Men on a Mission, which is a group of local men who are trying to make a difference in the community. They have also asked their support by serving as group mentors. We also have several fraternities and sororities who will be doing the same thing, and we'll sign agreements with them, have training with them, and the goal is for every elementary school and middle school to have mentor groups assigned to provide that support for our students. When we say it takes a village, it really does, and these people have agreed enthusiastically to be part of that village, and we appreciate their support in that regard. Next, we have any questions about that? And we do have some other organizations that we'll be highlighting with videos, and we'll present not only at the board meeting, but also on our webpage to demonstrate the partnerships and collaborations that we have. If there are no questions about that, we'll move now to our policy revision updates. As we mentioned in the past, we are in the process of revising the Board of Education Policy Manual with the assistance of the Georgia School Boards Association. They've identified two individuals to assist us in that process. And Dr. Finley and I, as well as the policy owners of those particular sections, the staff members responsible for those particular sections, have been meeting with the representatives from Georgia School Boards Association, and they have made proposals regarding our first set of policies, A through C, and those have been provided to board members for your review. Of course, the process will be that we will present them at a board meeting, the recommendations from GSBA, and then we'll send you our recommendations regarding their proposals for discussion at the next board meeting, and then they'll be up for adoption after discussion at the following board meeting. So they'll be presented at one board meeting, discussed at the following board meeting, and adopted if the board approves at the board meeting after that. So Dr. Finn, if you don't mind giving a brief overview of the documents that they've been presented.
Good evening, esteemed Board of Education, Superintendent, Mr. Dyer, school district leadership, parents, students, stakeholders. It's a pleasure to come before you today to give some information related to our policy revision process. As Mr. Dyer mentioned, we have been collaborating with Georgia School Board Association related to our revision process. In addition to that, we created a process where we provided owners for each particular policy. So we know, so we can ensure that we're always looking at it. And, when it's time to update, come to you with recommendations. Within your folder, what you'll find three sets of documents. The first document that says draft on it, this is the document that Georgia School Board Association provided to us after they reviewed our policy section A, B, and C. What you'll see on the left side of the page is our policy listings, and then they broke it down into 3 different columns as they responded with their feedback, which lets us know if the policy is required or suggested. The next one is discretionary, and the last one is consider abolishing. And you can see in each column connected to the policy what they're recommending for each one. So for example, the first one, school board legal status, AB. For this one, if you look to the right, it's under the column that speaks to consider abolishing, and so on and so on. So that's section A. You go down section B. Section A is school district organization. Section B is school board operations. And if you flip over on the back page, try to save a little paper, section C is general school administration. So these are the sections that they provided feedback as it relates to our policy. Also in red, that means that this is a recommended new policy that's not already in our handbook, in our policy guide. And the last policy on here, CN, it should be in red as well. That's a new recommended policy as well, administrative records. Your second document, which is the thick one, we wanted you to have our policy manual that they went through and they outlined in red what they're recommending should be removed or abolished. Some abolished, some removed. If it's highlighted in green, that means that it is language that they are suggesting that we have within that particular policy. So you'll see all of our policies in this particular document with the paperclip. In each document, if you flip to page 3, you'll see the first policy, school board legal status. It's in red, which aligns with the first document that we went over, which they're recommending considering abolishing. So what you'll receive later this week, you're gonna receive our recommendations to you from DCSS. So this is Georgia School Board Association's recommendation. So you're gonna receive the recommendations after discussion from us at the next board meeting. But we wanted to make sure that you all had ahead of time Georgia School Board Association's recommendations. And also, we wanted to make sure that you had the version where you can see exactly where they're saying we need to remove or add language. In addition to that, you can see the new policies that are being recommended. The third document says policy notes. This is just for you, and it's just bullets from each, like key points in each policy. I understand you're busy, so we want to make sure we try to make it as easy as possible to get through. So this is bullet points of each policy, just key points within the policy. So that's just at your leisure. You can look at and check out. It's some short language in there as well because I'm trying to keep it short, not trying to make it 50 pages for you to have to look through again. But this is just policy notes, just brief bullet points related to each particular policy that we're looking, that's in the revision process. So when we provide our recommendations, we'll also provide our rationale, and you'll also see within that particular document Georgia School Board Association's rationale as well. So it'll be all on one document. You'll be able to see what Georgia School Board Association is recommending, what their rationale is, and in addition to that, you'll be able to see what we're recommending and what our rationale is, so that you can see a through line on the page, which will, hopefully open it up for good dialogue. So those are the 3 documents that are in your folder that we're providing and asking you to, when you get a moment, to look through them, as we move into our second meeting.
Thank you, Dr. Finley. Appreciate that. And I want to bring to your attention just the things that I'm sure you probably already noticed. They're recommending abolishing several policies because they say they're included in state law and are redundant to be in policy. Dr. Finley and I had a discussion about that. Since we're a charter system, we are exempt from a lot of sections of Title 20. And so we want to make sure that we don't eliminate those policies just because they're recommended. We want to make sure that the spirit of those policies are captured somewhere in our document. So we're looking at a couple of recommendations to improve, because we don't want people to go through our policy manual, not see something, we can tell them, oh, go to state law and you can find it, or go to the Georgia School Board's rules and you can find it, or go to this and you can find it. We want to make sure that it's as transparent as possible and as easy as possible to find the relevant law, policy, or state board rule. So we're going to we are looking at their recommendations very seriously, and we understand that some of the policies that we have probably are best not in policy. All of them, I think, I don't know, we're not going to recommend abolishing all the ones that they are recommending, but some of them will be. But even those will be captured, we think, we talk about having a preamble or a general information section that may not be an official policy, but will be included in the manual. So if people look, they'll have access to that information. So we're still discussing those options. But again, those will be presented to you in advance of the next board meeting for discussion during that board meeting for additional consideration. and then present it for adoption based on any changes that the board sees fit to make at the first meeting in October. Did I miss anything, Dr. Finley? Right. Any questions?
So, Mr. Dyer, if any of the board members have questions as they're going through the document, should we share with you or?
Feel free to contact Dr. Finley or myself.
Okay.
We're joined at the hip on this one. We've been in lockstep on this one. So, and if we haven't discussed it, then we'll get back with you after we discuss it. But I think we've discussed every policy in this, and there's a few of them we haven't come to a point of where we're comfortable, and just a very few. Once we get to that point, we'll send you, which will be this week, we'll send you the document that shows the policy, the summary of the policy, or the bullet points, the Georgia School Board Association proposal, and then our recommendation regarding that proposal, all in one document.
Any board members have any questions? Once we review it, I'm sure you'll have some questions. Mr. Bush? Can you cut your mic on, Mr.?
He said, job well done.
Oh, okay. Oh, Ms. Chun gone, so he liked that repeated. Okay,
Yeah.
Superintendent?
Next, Madam Chair, celebrations and announcements. We did mention the city of Albany, the 100 Black Men of Southwest Georgia, and the Men on a Mission. But last Friday, we kicked off Mentors in Action. That's a mentor program with MCLB, and they will be adopting International Studies Elementary Charter School, where all 30 classrooms, or all classrooms at the school will have at least one Marine to serve as an aide for the teacher. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So they're up on the screen now. Those are you can skip that one. but ma'am. Or whatever the teacher needs. That's what Colonel McKinney said. When you're in the classroom, the teacher is the commanding officer. Yeah, so whatever the teacher needs you to do, of course it'll be some guided mentoring activity as well. But in addition to the mentoring activities, they'll come to the classrooms and assist teachers with whatever they need, whether it's classroom management or proctoring tests, whatever they need. And Colonel McKinney made it very clear that when they're in the classroom, the teacher is the CO. So whatever you need, they'll provide. So we're appreciative of that. We had a ceremony at International Studies Elementary Charter School last Friday, I'm sorry, last Thursday. It was last Thursday, not Friday, where we had a matching ceremony where we called out the teacher's name, called out the Marine's name. They met and exchanged greetings and had conversations. And then we had light refreshments, and then we went on. So we're looking forward to that kicking off. This is the first official mentoring program that we're launching, and it's with Marine Corps Logistics Base Albany, and we couldn't be more pleased to have them join our partnership. And that's a picture of the kickoff. We had a ribbon cutting for the program outside the building. All right. Yes. Yes. Can you move up a little, Reverend Bush, to you?
Gotcha.
The Colonel
Cut like
there,
that.
the Chief of Staff, and
Yes.
the Staff Sergeant.
Yes, sir.
You know, I thought they quoted the right people and it was a good story.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I feel like that you and JD had a hand in it.
Alan called and we gave him a few quotes, but he was there, and so we had to get up, and so we're really appreciative of that. Any more questions, comments?
No, we missed the picture you scammed across real fast.
There was not that one, an important picture there. JD included that one. I have to look a little closer next time he gives the pictures. And again, this is a reminder, we gave this notice at the last board meeting, but this Friday, September 12th at 9 a.m., we'll have the groundbreaking for the Health and Physical Education Complex at Westover High School, and we look forward to that ceremony, much long-awaited much needed, groundbreaking. And so we're looking forward to that. And later that night, we'll have our first DCSS Moments event of the school year, where we'll have Employee Appreciation Night, Employee Game Night at Hugh Mill Stadium. Again, that'll be Westover against Griffin High School, starting at 7:30. Of course, all the employees get in free, and at all of our athletics events, and through our DCSS Perks program. But this will be extra special because they'll also get free concessions throughout the night, just to show of appreciation to the work that they do day in and day out to support our students and our families. Right? And we have a motley crew working the concession stand. Dr. Finley, Mr. Davis, myself, Mr. Fields, and I was gonna say now, if you want to upgrade the concession stand, yeah, we have some board members. Board members can feel free to join us. We have a good time engaging with our employees, and they get a kick out of seeing us serve with the popcorn and hot dogs and sodas. And for those that want to participate, we're gonna start staffing at 6:30 and give you a little training on how to wrap hot dogs and scoop popcorn, and after that we'll get started. But if you don't want to participate in the concession stand, feel free to come to the game. We're gonna have a section set aside for employees, and I'm sure they would love to engage with it, just like they do at the when we have the kickoff, the summer kickoff, and the spring break kickoff. I think you attended last year, had a great time. So they always enjoy seeing you, and it's a good opportunity for you to express our appreciation for them outwardly. So thank you very much for your time and attention regarding that.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
Mrs. Superintendent, will we still have the reserve part?
Yes. You let me know. Let me know you're coming. Let Ms. Rhonda know you're coming. We have a spot for you reserved. Because if you're working, particularly if you're working, you're going to get there early and get a spot. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Do we have any questions about the report or anything else before I close this session, Madam Chair?
Any questions for Mr. Dyer? No, sir. Do you want to?
Well, I don't anticipate any action coming out of executive session. So if you want to move forward with the regular meeting, that would be certainly appropriate. We don't have any recommendations that we anticipate coming out of executive session, and it is 7. So
7 o'clock.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Board members, will you please stand for a moment of silence and the Pledge of Allegiance? Please silence your phones. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, 7:10, I call this board meeting to order. Mr. Superintendent, do we have any public comments and presentation at this time?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Board members, do we have a motion to adopt the agenda?
I move that the agenda be adopted.
Reverend Bush, and is everybody's mic on? Please make sure you got a blue light. So Reverend Bush did motion, and then we'll put Ms. Hurley down for second.
My apologies.
Yeah, she couldn't hear. It's been properly motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, the agenda is adopted. Do we have any changes? We made the changes to the minutes for a board meeting held on August 28th, 2025. If not, can I get entertain a motion for approval of the minutes?
So moved. Second.
It's been properly moved and second to approve the agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Can I enter a motion to approve a consent agenda for items 2 through 4?
Madam Chair, I move the approval of the consent agenda items 2 through 4.
Second that motion.
It's been properly moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The motion has been approved and the consent agenda. Do we have any announcement or comments from the superintendent or the board members?
No, ma'am, just a reminder again about the
Executive.
12th, Westover that morning at 9 a.m. and at 7:30. Reporting time 6:30 that evening for the Employee Appreciation Night at Hugh Mills Stadium. And just so you know, we it's not on the agenda, but the strategic planning process is continuing. Another board adopted the priorities the last meeting, and Dr. Finley is continuing to work with those owners of those particular priorities to develop the initiatives and the action plans. And so once those are done, we'll bring those. I don't know if we'll bring all of them at one time or bring them as they are completed. But Dr. Finley, he'll drive that process, and he'll let me know, and I'll let you know. But they'll be presented over the next several meetings as we finalize those action plans, detailed action plans, and our plan for reporting, not only to you, but to our stakeholders. There's a website plan with a scorecard plan that'll be both public-facing and internal to keep the public aware of the status of our plan and the progress that we're making toward it. That's all I have, Madam Chair.
Okay. Board members, can we get a motion to go into executive session for student matters, personnel, and property?
Madam Chairman, let me just say this. I want everyone to know that I believe in freedom of speech. But I don't think that a person making a truckload of money from the school system should engage in denigrating this school system. Now, everyone have a right to criticize, but I just think that straight out lying and just making all this money and living in Lee County. You know, I wish that Coleman, that we had that law when I was in high school, that people had to live in where they worked. And but I just think that if you make a lot of money, and most people do in this school system, you shouldn't be a part of denigrating the school system. I talked to Mr. Dye about this, and I don't go to him so much, but it's just kind of set me off. Thank you so much.
Okay. Any other comments from board members? Can I get a motion to go into executive session for personnel, student matters, and property?
Madam Chair, I move that we go into executive session for the said items on the agenda.
Madam Chair, I second that motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we are now in executive session. Officer Frazier, will you please assist everybody know that we had alumni weekend this past weekend. And Dougherty High alumni, ma'am,
They haven't reported them out yet, Ms. Ellis.
yeah. So I had several calls from alumni this weekend about the fencing, that covering that goes around the Dougherty High.
The field?
Field.
Okay, got it. Okay,
So,
got it.
if we can get that replaced and this time put it inside the,
We made that order, well, we made that comment already, yeah,
Okay.
already, I noticed that when I was with the other week.
my phone did not stop
Yeah.
ringing last weekend. I got texts and all complaining about that. So we can ensure that all of
Yeah.
our facilities are up to standard.
Yes,
Ms.
ma'am.
Huntley, would you like to say something?
I'd like to bring something to our attention. I believe you already know.
You have a
but-
mic on?
Pardon?
Yes,
Hear you. Yes, it's on.
Okay.
Can you hear?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Commissioner Edwards brought to my attention concern about the traffic at, I believe,
Radium
Radium
Elementary.
elementary. But when I was first told, though, I was thinking he was talking about Radium Middle American School of the Art, but it's the elementary school. And I believe he brought it to the attention of the chair, did he not?
Yes, ma'am, and I have his speaking form here.
And he sent me a text.
Thank you.
And we spoke to Mr. Davis last week. He spoke to Chief Conley, and our SROs were to be on site. They went today at dismissal to take a look at it, and we put a map up to look at ways we can try to alleviate that stress. So we're on it, and we certainly appreciate him bringing that to our attention.
And when I mentioned it, Ms. Huntley, just for the board, we've asked them to look at all the congested elementary schools and middle schools that have the same problem. Mr. Dyer and I discussed some other options. Maybe just simply send an email out to all the parents to say, do not block the people driveway.
Yeah.
In all the areas.
That's one of the major concerns, that when the parent pickup line takes, people line up an hour before, some of them line up an hour before school dismisses. And they get in the line and they actually park their cars and they block people's driveways so they can't get out or get in. And then they can't go backwards and forth because the lines are so tight. They don't have time, they don't have ability to move. So those are some things that we're going to try to address by having police presence out there, changing behavior, and sending some guidance out. So thank you for that. Again, Madam Chair, thank you, Mrs. Huntley, for bringing that to our attention. So I want to thank Commissioner Edwards, who also sent me a text regarding that.
I'd like for him to kindly get a note, an update of a sort, and share with him that we are looking at all of our
Yes, ma'am.
schools.
Will do.
We
Official document.
appreciate his offer to help from the county, because he did say that, and I remember. Thank you.
And Mr. Bush,
Madam Chair.
Mr. Bush has his hand up behind you. Are you on yield to?
I yield to my good friend.
This question is for Mr. Superintendent. I have a question. How are funds reallocated or diverted when employees leave the district? Where does the remainder of their pay go? How do you reallocate that, or do you?
Well, it depends on what the needs are. Usually when an employee leaves, if there's a position that needs to be filled, we advertise and we fill that position with someone else. So the bulk of it will go to the person replacing them. If there's a lapse in terms of employment, whether it's a small or a large lapse in terms of time, then those funds go to our reserve.
Okay. What is the possibility, this is just food for thought, what's the possibility of raising the salary of those who are still in need of an increase?
Well, that's always a possibility. We're in the process of doing salary study now, and we've already made some adjustments. We made adjustments with our bus drivers a while back, custodians a while back. Of course, we raised the minimum wage to $15 across the board. This year, we raised the starting pay for our SROs to $19.02, and we, based on survey of RISA salary study that they provide annually, we've made adjustments to other pay. But the challenge with taking the funds from someone who leaves and reallocating that to increase the pay of other people on a permanent basis, that means when we fill that position, then that we pay, that we see how to pay for that position.
Right.
And we pay for the increase in the funds, that's new money that we be provided. But if there's someone a group of employees who are not at market, let me know who they are, and we'll take a look at their salaries compared to market salaries, and we'll certainly make those necessary adjustments like we have in the past.
Okay,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
one other, I was approached by a custodian who had a legitimate concern that their lunch time is only 30 minutes. And others, there are some others, I didn't get who or where, they get an hour for lunch. So I just want to make sure that we are consistent across the board with lunch times and that they are given the proper time. And the next thing is.
Well, let me address that one.
Oh, sorry.
If you don't mind. We're consistent with the workday is 8 hours. So if our teachers get 30 minutes, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Fifteen.
It's supposed to get 30 minutes duty free. Now, if an employee gets a 30-minute lunch, that means they're here for 8.5 hours, and that 30 minutes, then they end up working 8 hours. If we give them an hour lunch, that means they have to come in 30 minutes earlier or leave 30 minutes later, because there's an 8-hour workday and the lunch is not included. So those people that get an 8 hour and get an hour for lunch, they're here for 9 hours, and 1 hour of that is lunch. For the people that are here they get a 30-minute lunch, they're here for 8.5 hours, and that 30 minutes is lunch. So we're consistent with the workday, the number of days, the number of hours you have to work, although the lunch period may not be the same. Now, if they want to get and I think that's across the board. I think there was some discussion had with custodians a while back about whether they wanted a 30-minute lunch or hour lunch and starting ending times, and they opted for a 30-minute lunch so they can leave 30 minutes earlier.
Okay. And
with 200 custodians, you're not going to please all of them.
I got
And so we try to do what the majority. Now, if we want to go back and poll them again, we can certainly do that, because it's been quite some time since we've done that. But we can certainly go back and poll them again, and the majority wants to do an hour and stay an hour earlier, or come in an hour. Leave 30 minutes later, or come in 30 minutes earlier to get an hour. We can certainly accommodate it.
Okay. And one other thing.
Yes, ma'am.
I would like for you to consider, with the state, the Department of Corrections, we get 8 hours of education leave. And we can use those 8 hours, aside from what we accumulate annual or sick. That's an additional 8 hours. And we can use those to go to programs for our grandchildren, children, whatever school activity is going on, rather than having to use our personal leave. So the person who approached me said that her grandchild is at Lincoln, and she wanted to go to Grandparents' Day, but she only had 30 minutes to do that. Now, I don't know how the time is given to them to be able to attend functions. Maybe it's a building decision. I'm not sure. That's why I'm asking, so that if I'm asked again, I can appropriately answer.
So are we saying that she requested and was denied?
No.
Okay.
I didn't say that.
Okay, I was trying to confirm that, because that should not be an issue. And if it is, I would like to know what building.
And I don't know if she's
Yeah.
using her lunch time to go and, get in as much time as she needs, as she can, and then get back to work within that 30 minutes.
No, that wouldn't be possible to do unless
Right.
it was next door. And if you go, we encourage our supervisors to accommodate those special programs when it comes to, especially ones we sponsor. And if that's not being done, then I would like to know, and we can certainly reiterate that to our supervisors.
I'll find them.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, we value family, and we make that very clear. And that's the spirit in which I lead and serve, and that's the spirit in which I expect others to serve and lead their building. So we can certainly reiterate that if that message has been lost.
Okay, Mr. Bush.
She touched on many of the things that I was going to mention, but I do want to say this. We have 4 people in this room that were principals, worked as assistant or whatever in administration. And you know, I have talked about this a long time. It's time for us to really, you know, give the janitors, you know, you cannot micromanage people, especially janitors. I used to be one when I was in high school. I think that Ms. Chun, Mr. Davis, Dr. Hand, and Ms. Hutley probably would echo these same sentiments, that the principal should have the responsibility to supervise totally the janitors, not someone 5 miles away. And I rest my case.
Ms. Ann.
Yes, if Mr. Bush is through, I have a question for Mr. Dyer. In reference to the bus drivers, and I don't know too much about the buses and such, but are there gauges on the bus for the bus drivers to drive a certain speed limit? Because on Gillianville, I believe I see the buses flying. I mean, I know we have some work employees flying too, you know, getting in the medium. I've seen people do that. But is there some kind of control where the bus drivers are not flying, and especially through the part where you're supposed to slow down at 25 miles an hour? Now, I've seen this.
We don't have governors on the buses, but we can track. We do have a way to track the speed of buses. So if you get a bus number and a time of day, we can certainly take a look at that. Okay. And but they should not be flying the school zone or not. Exactly. That's part of the safety training, and so we can certainly take a look at that. But if you have a specific incident, we can find out where that bus was and the speed that bus was going during that time, and we can address that as on a as needed basis. But we'll try to remind Mr. Whitlock to reiterate the need for our buses paying attention to the speed zones.
Okay, what, I'm sorry.
I was gonna add to what you had mentioned, Westover and the railroad crossing. There's a gentleman called me just about very upset because the bus did not stop on the railroad track. And just a few days ago, 2 or 3 days ago, one passed me up I couldn't get the bus number.
Okay. Do you know the bus number that didn't stop at the railroad track? If you know, you don't have to say it publicly.
The van was so.
That's right. He did. That's right. That's right. You told me about that. That's right. I thought it was another one, but it's the same one you mentioned to me earlier. Okay.
No, this was the other that I didn't.
Okay. Right. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Madam Chair, one
Yes,
other question.
Ms.
I think I spoke to Mr. Dyer about this once before, earlier, much before I became District 1 representative, about the students going about trying to get, and I don't know, you can use this as an elective or anything, putting so many hours of volunteer work outside of school, for them to be able to understand, once they get out in the community to work, the knowledge of various skills, and I may be saying this wrong, but we make it some kind of way where it can be required, maybe 10th, 11th, 12th grades before you graduate? Must have so many hours of volunteer work outside the schools, and I don't know if this is possible, but
Is the goal of that to get them to volunteer or to get them skills training or exposure? Because we do have students who participate in work-based learning. Are you saying volunteer as a requirement because they learn about giving back in service, or to learn skills on the job?
both. I'm not saying a job, but volunteer work, like maybe go to the, what am I trying to say, assistant living, just do volunteer work and make it a requirement for each student, and there may be some parents who may not go along with this, but each student, upon graduation, they must have fulfilled at least so many hours, volunteer hours.
Service hours.
Service hours.
Service hours. A requirement would be maybe a bit of a stretch, but we can certainly explore opportunities for those students who have fulfilled all their graduation requirements to engage in some service activities. As Mayor McLeod Bethune stated, that you enter to learn, the part to serve, and so we have to understand that help our students understand that service is the rent you pay for the space you occupy here on Earth, and I think that's a good opportunity to do that.
And the reason I'm asking, because I think I spoke with you about our grandchildren in Maryland. They had to go through, before they graduated, they needed 45 hours of volunteer service, and otherwise they could not graduate.
I think that'll be a bit of a challenge, but I think we certainly encourage it. Yeah, I think we certainly could do that.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I think she's right. Hands-on experience, very essential.
Anything else needs to come before Dougherty County School Board? Any more questions for Mr. Dyer? If not, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I move that we adjourned.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.